All right, everybody. John Deere, zero turns, Z-Track, Z315E. It's got the Briggs twin on it. We're going to get to all of that, but in this video, we're going to focus on two things. This is about a year ago, so December, January, which was good. We got kind of an early start on it, and before it got really lousy out. Drag it out of the yard. We're going to drag it out of the yard. We're going to get it up on the table and start going over it. But the main focus on this one is really, other than that, is twofold. We're going to be trying to repair the draft rod. That's the rod in the front on the deck, connects the deck, front of the deck, to the body, and it pulls it in and up. In and back and up, right? And you adjust that. Contractor Mike's machine. I forget how old it is. It's, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. I forget. Somewhere in there I have the date. Like I said, it's been a while. Bought it new. I think it was like a floor model or scratch and dent. One of those Depot-y, whatever he got it from. So it's been very good to him, but it's coming in for some service, and it's got a bunch of broken stuff. And that broken stuff is the deck mounting system. And I'm going to show you in a little bit why the draft rod is broken and some of the other hanging rods and bracketry that is all tweaked and not happy with life. And this is something that he kept doing. He did it again. He broke it after I fixed it this season, somewhere in not so much the very beginning of the season, but not that long after, for the same reason. So I figured I'd have some fun since I had a bit more time. So I'm just filling you in. I had a little bit more time. It was the winter. I wanted to check out my new welder, and I wanted to do a little bit of MIG and TIG work, and I wanted to fool around with my lathe. So we're gonna kind of fix his draft rod. So that's really going to be the main focus, and I get a chance to kind of work more with the welder because I need more practice, for sure. And you know, it can't always be grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. You have to practice this stuff. So I figured I would just kind of have some fun. So we're going to do that in this video. But there's other things to do. There'll be subsequent videos. We gotta hang the deck and fix some of the other issues of the deck. We're going to go over the ignition system. We're going to kind of tune it up. I'm going to do the valves on the motor coming up as all separate videos so that they don't, otherwise this would be huge. And then we'll give it back to him. So far, so good. He had it fixed. It was expensive. He had to go to another shop because at that point now, I got busy. So I want to show you what's causing this. And so let's get started on the video. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so tonight's job is to get this up on the table. We're going to use that winch, and we're all set here. So last night I charged that battery, and I also charged the one on the table over there. I did it hasn't been done. Last it was done was 528, 25. It was load tested out to 200 on 24, 11, 19. You may see that. And the other one too has a rating on it. And I charged his last night. This is actually on my channel. This nice little. It is. It just says multifunction. Has a model number MF25. It is on my channel. I really like it. And you can choose lithium, ordinary, AGM, and the maintenance is what I like. It'll also do 24 volt, right? And the maintenance charge really kicks these batteries back up to full. So that's what I ran last night. It's good to go. I'm going to remove the charger, disconnect the battery, and try to pull this thing up. So that's next, and then we can start going over the rest of it tomorrow after I'm done with that bolt. We need to make some kind of a lanyard. So this is the setup, for those that haven't seen it. I don't know. See this thing back here, I forget what they call it. All right, we could turn off that light. But we need something for the front. A guide, a cable guide, or whatever you want to call it. It gets all bunched up. It's destroying itself. If I try to free spool it out, it goes so fast that it just goes boing. The other thing I was thinking is that we do have enough room to put it underneath, for sure. I'm pretty sure we can do that. I'm going to drill a hole and have it come up through the table, and that way it's not in my way. And I think this is a good opportunity to do something like that. Let's get this thing up. All right, it's an old one. I bought it at Harbor Freight. My God, no, it's, yeah, utility winch, Chicago Electric. She old. Let's see if that battery can handle it. Let's get started. Uh-oh. Yeah. All right, I got the parking brake off, and so she's rolling. All right, you can see how easy it is. Okay, so let's see if there's enough oomph left in this battery. I'm getting tired too, so I just want, this is, you know, one of the last things I want to do. Yeah. She needs a bigger battery, really. But she's doing good. Oh, yeah. She's almost up all the way. Yeah, now she's basically up, almost. Wow, she's big. All right, that's as far as I can get it. She's big. She's actually on the ramp, so we'll have to leave the ramp. That's another reason why I was thinking about doing it this way, because I would not be able to actually fit it. See how far over it is. And also, since we're going to be doing mostly the work over here. All right, looking good. I could slide it over a little bit more, but I don't want it to roll off, so we're going to have to chalk it. That's lined up down there. This section does come off. Bolt here, bolt there. Bolt here and here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly. Well, I don't know what the load test is on it, but I'm not going to do that. But she's idling at about 12.6 volts, which is, you know, where it should be. So I'm going to plug it in and just leave it on a charge. There's no off switch, right? That's one thing I do want to put in. Just going to leave it on a charge till it's done, and then when we're ready, you know, for it again, it'll be ready to go. I can put it away. I just put it on. I don't know if you can see it, but it was on the first two. Now it jumped to the 3 with the flashing on the third. But yeah, it came up quick, so it'll be fine. All right, I don't think you need this light, but I did. So this is the piece right here, and it's broken there. And then it gets this, plus the clip, and these two weird sloppy fitting nuts. And I don't think it's metric. It doesn't seem to be, but you know, it could be. Some metric threads actually get real close to standard, but what I'm coming up with is, well, that's why I needed a light, 7/16 14. And that's what it feels like. And it kind of looks like that. Right, it gets in there and it seems to fit. And then when I run the nuts up, but look at how sloppy these nuts are. But you know what? These I wouldn't be surprised, right? Because this is a John Deere part made at the lowest bidder. I think it fits a little tighter in here, but not all that much. But you know what, all of these nuts, like, so this bolt, it's just stamped CF, so it's not, I don't think it's a graded bolt, and probably the same thing, I don't know, with the hardware. That's what it was. So that's all up there. This part's about 12 or so dollars plus tax and shipping, right? And you got to wait for it. Now, what I was thinking is just to have some fun, I could weld this on. So it's about total length to thread about 3, a little over 3, 3 1/8, 3 1/4. So we could go out to 3 1/2 or 4 inches. But I was thinking, you know, we could cut it about here, and then, you know, we'll shape it so it's got a bit of a conical tip on it so we can weld it, and I can weld this on, do the same thing here. And this is bigger. So this is half 13. This is much bigger. And it will go through this if I drill that. It's not much of a difference. This still is okay. There's a little wear there, but nothing major. Well, that's replaceable. This is bigger, but I think it broke. It feels like it broke because he tightened it too much, because he sheared it. And you can honestly see, I can see it. It looks more like it got sheared. And it broke right at the nut point, you know, right to here. It was somewhere here, sandwiched together with the nut, right? And it snapped off. Anyway, my thinking is I could weld this together with my MIG welder, no problem. But I haven't really developed the skill sets yet with the TIG. So I figured I would chuck this in my lathe. Now I could make the threads, but I don't have a cutter for my lathe yet. That's a project I'm just about to take the lathe apart the rest of the way, which you'll see. But if we chuck this in the lathe, we can hold it straight, and then I can spin it and weld it up, try to see if I can weld it with the TIG. And if it comes out good, now the joint will be up here. We'll leave this alone and we'll cut it when we're done. And as long as, you know, as long as I can get good penetration all the way through and I build up the weld, I'll have to hand grind it. I can't cut it and make it pretty. And then we'll just drill this out. And if it works, I want to do this tomorrow, we're good to go. I have 2 nuts left of my nuts, so look at the nut size difference. So all of this is so much beefier. That would, you know, maybe would improve it. I don't know. Like I said, let's have some fun. I'll set up tomorrow for that. I got a couple of things to do tonight.
Later.
Alright, since I don't have the cutter set up, I'm going to just do this with the grinder. And I'll do the other side as well. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to do this side, but we need to put the 4-jaw in. And unfortunately, you know, it's going to make a mess. Let me do that, because I don't think we're going to be able to. I'll try, but I don't think we're going to be able to get that in there. We'll go to the 4-jaw if we have to. Something quick test. Flow rate is set to 20. Rods are cleaned. I'm at 90 amps, and post flow is 4 seconds. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's good. That's beautiful. Let's loosen this up a little bit. I don't think that's going to rotate. It's under compression. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to work out good. All right, I might want to set it with the mic. Oh, yeah, fellas. Though. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's nice. I'm very happy. I'm gonna finish up tomorrow. I gotta clean the torch. There's a little spot here. Almost, it's not a crack. It's a low. Oh, let's see. So yeah, one of the areas it bubbled up. So there's some gas coming out of that. There's some dirt in there then. Well, you see it occasionally with the sparks as they dazzle. But other than that, it's good. And we're up, pretty much goes up all the way. I haven't even cleaned it yet. So I'm gonna cut it now. But after I cut it, see the wear here? So I wanna, After I cut it, it'll be a little smaller, and then I'll chuck it up in the vise. We're gonna run the wire wheel over that, get that nice and clean. And then I just want to put a little bit at a time because I don't want this to turn red or for it to distort. I don't have to make it perfect. I don't have to rebuild all of it. There's really not that bad, but I'll put a little bit of weld in there, and we'll see how it comes out. All right, I ran it through with a drill bit of the correct size because it got a little mashed up on one end, and then I opened it up just a little bit, as you can see. Let's go install it. Just one of these that happened to have just like the absolute correct size, so there's no distortion anymore. So this is a thicker piece. And let's go install it. I got some stuff to do, but I want to get this on tonight. This way, at least this is done and out of here. We'll pin it up and we'll adjust it. And here's the trailer that Mike was using. So Contractor Mike, right, gave me this trailer, basically. Well, I'm going to give him a bit of a discount, some of the work we got. We got the Time Masters to work on, etc. And Big Mike gave me, he had a set of these, and I think they'll fit. You can see the general construction of this trailer. It's homemade, but it's some decent size, material here, box steel. And Contractor Mike, he screwed some of this stuff on. He just refused to put any kind of anchor points or use any straps to hold anything down. This isn't the only trailer he had, but he since just bought another one. And I'll show you what's going on here. We'll just look out for that spider web. So I wound up with it for a couple of reasons. That was one of the problems. And he couldn't get a lot of this stuff to stay up. He just didn't know how to make or fabricate anything that was sufficient. Hey, can you see it? That's a big guy. So the shackle broke and the leaf spring broke. So really the best way to do that is to remove that, and then you wind up with this steel here, this extra piece of steel. And if I can't cut it off, I'll leave it. I'll make the other one just like it, clean it up, and we'll weld on a new angle bracket for the shackle, new shackles, and then we'll use Big Mike's springs, and we'll just rebuild this. But this down here, he had created this step, and never really, I don't know what's underneath this plywood, but never really could figure out how to make a transition or whatever, and this is very loosely mounted, so it doesn't line up proper. And so what they would do is just drive back up further and drive faster in to kind of jump the step, and that's what's breaking everything on the draft rod. And I'll show you there's some other brackets. Yeah, we're gonna rip all that off. That's what damaged. He would damage a lot of things. The bigger trailer that he had, stuff was banging into everything, and I would try to explain to him inertia and what have you, and he just didn't know what to do with it. I never really had the time to fix it up, but he's got a new trailer now. It's much like this one over here. We need to fix this one too at some point. I have the big ramp, which sets up completely different. So he got himself something decent. This one we'll need to go over. But this one's not built as strong in many ways as the other one. It's just a bigger trailer and it has its own issues. We will get to that. But I told Big Mike, I said, let's just make this thing a flatbed. I'll decide what I want to do with that ramp scenario, fix it up or whatever. Make it a flatbed and just make it a good trailer, because he's always picking up. He's got a good trailer, but he's always picking up all kinds of heavy crap. And I'm always looking for stuff, and we'll fix it. We'll fix it over the winter. All right, me out here. At this point, you can see what I'm talking about. If it didn't go on and up, and he didn't have help, or one of his guys couldn't get it back up on there on the trailer, and there's nobody else to lift it, and it's so heavy. I mean, even though the weight's like this, you could probably, pull the deck up as high as it goes. I don't know. My thinking is, back it up, Mac, and just go farther back and then wail on it and just try to pop it up and pop a wheelie and get up over that ledge. But no, it keeps slamming in. Now, I mentioned that it almost looked like the first time it broke because it was over tightened and it ran out of threads, and he puts a lot of muscle in things. He has no sense on how tight something should be. Well, I was like that when I was very young. I started working with small brass fittings, right, for my fuel system, for my hot rod back in the day. I'd break every one, right? So, that's a thing, right? How tight do you make an NPT? Can you go another turn? My friend Bill used to say things like, tighten it until just before it gets loose again. That's a great one. I love it. So I like to use that. So anyway, here we are. Let me get you out of here on this. So here we are. He broke it again. The guy not far from here does not do very good work. He charged him $250. That part is about $12 plus tax and shipping, roughly, right? Maybe it's a little higher now than, because things, what's going on. I got to tell you. But you got to wait, right, for them to send it out. So you'd have to wait. Now, I had time at that point, but I wanted to fix it. And honestly, I went with a slightly bigger threaded, rod section. There's no way you're going to break it at the weld. No, they broke it because he kept doing the same thing. And I mentioned that he got another trailer, and I've been convincing him on that. I don't know. He just would not. He would break other stuff because he would not secure his equipment down. Ask Big Mike. He was here one day when Contractor Mike was loading up some stuff, and Big Mike goes, "Aren't you going to secure that?" It's all right. Mike's looking at me with, okay, gotta go. Right, look, we make mistakes. They're in a rush, and that's really when mistakes happen. And then there's, sort of an ignorance, right? You don't want to learn, you don't know. We don't know things, and so you got to learn them. And sometimes we learn the hard way. So that's all fixed up. He's got it working again. I got a little bit more experience. I had a lot of fun. I got some experience with some stuff. Eventually, I'll get to the welder video, which is a separate video. I'll eventually get to some more videos on that lathe, and I got another lathe as well. I'm busy, very busy. We're going to get to all this other stuff. So stay tuned for some of the other videos. I at least had some fun. I made a noble effort and a big noise, a loud scream, and burned up a lot of electricity, but not very much, welding rod. It's not a contractor's machine. It's a residential. And yes, I can understand what's the tuna talking. I can understand why everybody wants to use the cheaper thing. The cheaper thing doesn't hold up. But I got to say, for a homeowner, residential, it's not a bad machine. You're going to see one of the flaws, and I've seen this before in some other videos for some of these, and guys wonder why, the idler wheel in the front, the anti-dive wheel, it gets in the way of the steering. And there's some things. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching this episode of Archer's Garage. John Deere stories.